Most people approach cleaning the same way they approach a crisis. They ignore it until it becomes impossible to ignore, and then they spend an entire Saturday trying to fix everything at once. The bathroom gets scrubbed, the floors get mopped, the kitchen gets degreased, every surface gets wiped down, and by Sunday evening, the house is clean. The person is exhausted, and within 4 or 5 days, the mess has quietly started rebuilding itself. The cycle repeats, week after week, year after year, and the cleaning never actually stops being a problem. Sweden does not clean this way. European time use data and housing surveys consistently show that Swedish households spend their cleaning time efficiently each week, keeping Swedish homes among the tidiest in the continent. The explanation is not that Swedes are unusually disciplined or that Swedish homes are somehow self-cleaning. The explanation is that the approach is fundamentally different. Instead of allowing mess to accumulate and then fighting it, Swedish cleaning culture is built around micro-habits, small actions that take between 20 and 60 seconds and happen automatically as part of daily life that prevent mess from ever reaching the stage where it requires a significant effort to reverse. Today we are looking at 10 Swedish habits that effectively make a home maintain itself, not because they eliminate cleaning entirely, but because they eliminate the vast majority of the cleaning that people hate most, the deep, exhausting catch-up cleaning that happens when small problems are left to compound into large ones. We start with the habit that Swedes practice before they have even fully entered the house. 1. The shoe removal ritual. Stopping outdoor dirt at the exact moment it arrives. This is the habit that Swedish children learn so early that most adults cannot remember a time before it existed. Every person entering a Swedish home removes their shoes at the door. Not sometimes, not when the weather is particularly bad, but every single time without exception. The practical result of this habit is not subtle. Shoes carry an extraordinary quantity of particulate matter into a home: mud, grit, pollen, bacteria from outdoor surfaces, traces of everything the soul has touched since it last left the house. Every step taken indoors with shoes on distributes some of that contamination across the floor. In a home where shoes are removed at the door, the floor stays demonstrably cleaner for longer. Vacuuming and mopping are needed less frequently, and the general level of visible cleanliness throughout the home remains higher with no additional effort beyond the removal itself. The Swedish home entry area, the hall, is specifically designed to support this habit. A dedicated shoe rack or storage bench is positioned immediately inside the door. House slippers or indoor shoes, kept on a separate shelf or in a basket beside the rack, are put on in place of outdoor shoes. The transition takes perhaps 15 seconds and prevents hours of cumulative floor cleaning over the course of a month. The habit is so deeply embedded in Swedish culture that arriving at someone's home and keeping your shoes on is considered a genuine social transgression, not a minor oversight. That level of social reinforcement is part of why the habit holds, but the result holds regardless of the social context. A home where shoes stay at the door is a home where floors stay clean. 2. The immediate surface wipe. 30 seconds that prevent 30 minutes. Here is a habit so simple that it sounds almost too obvious to mention, and yet the difference between homes that practice it and homes that do not is immediately visible. In Swedish homes, spills, splashes, and surface marks are wiped immediately, not after the meal is finished, not after the television program ends, immediately while the mess is still fresh. The science behind this is straightforward. Fresh spills on a kitchen counter, stovetop, bathroom sink, or mirror wipe off in 2 or 3 seconds with a damp cloth. The same spill, left for an hour, begins to dry and stick. Left for a day, it requires real scrubbing. Left for a week, it may require a cleaning product and sustained effort. The difference between a 2-second wipe and a 5-minute scrub is entirely a function of timing, not effort. Swedish homes typically keep a dedicated cloth or microfiber towel within reach at every surface that is likely to get splashed. One on the kitchen counter beside the stove, one folded on the edge of the bathroom sink, one near the bathroom mirror. The cloth being within reach is not a small detail. It is the reason the habit works consistently rather than occasionally. When wiping a splash surface requires walking to another room to find a cloth, it stops happening automatically and starts requiring a conscious decision. When the cloth is already there, the wipe happens before a deliberate thought is even necessary. Swedish cleaning culture understands that habits are built by removing friction, not by adding discipline, and this habit is the clearest proof of that principle. 3. The bathroom squeegee. 1 minute that eliminates mold before it begins. Sweden is a country with long winters, significant humidity, and a building culture that takes indoor climate seriously. The bathroom squeegee habit, practiced daily in millions of Swedish homes, is a direct response to the moisture challenge that every Nordic bathroom faces. After every shower, the walls and door of the shower enclosure are wiped down with a small rubber squeegee that hangs permanently inside the shower. The entire process takes between 45 seconds and 1 minute. The water that remains on tile and glass surfaces after a shower is the primary fuel source for mold, mildew, and mineral deposit buildup. Remove the water and the mold has nothing to feed on. Leave the water and within weeks the grout begins to darken. The glass develops a permanent haze and the cleaning required to reverse those problems is measured in hours rather than seconds. Swedish bathrooms that practice this habit consistently require a genuine deep clean, far less often than bathrooms where it is skipped. The frequency difference is significant. A deep shower clean in a squeegeed bathroom might be needed every 4 to 6 weeks, compared to every 1 to 2 weeks in a bathroom where residual moisture is left to dry naturally. The squeegee itself costs almost nothing and takes up almost no space. Hanging it on the shower wall or door means it is always immediately accessible. This is the same logic as the surface wipe habit. The tool being present at the point where it is needed is what makes the habit automatic rather than aspirational. 4. The evening kitchen reset. The habit that changes how morning feels. In Sweden, there is a widely shared understanding that how a kitchen looks when you go to bed determines how your next morning begins. This is not a formal cultural rule. It is simply a habit so common that most Swedes consider the alternative, going to sleep with a messy kitchen, to be genuinely uncomfortable rather than merely inconvenient. The evening kitchen reset involves 3 things: washing or loading into the dishwasher, every dish, pot, and utensil used during dinner, wiping down the stovetop and counter surfaces, and clearing any items that have accumulated on the kitchen table or counters during the day back to their designated places. The entire process, done consistently rather than occasionally, takes between 8 and 15 minutes and is usually absorbed into the natural end of dinner routine rather than treated as a separate chore. The benefit shows up the next morning. Walking into a clean kitchen to make breakfast or coffee removes a significant source of daily low-level stress that most people experience so regularly they no longer consciously register it. Environmental psychology studies on residential well-being and domestic space have consistently noted the link between clean kitchen environments and reported morning mood. There is also a compounding effect. A kitchen that is reset every evening never accumulates the layers of dried-on food, grease buildup, and general disorder that make occasional large-scale kitchen cleaning such an unpleasant task. The evening reset prevents the problem from ever requiring the solution. 5. The fika effect. Building cleaning into rest rather than treating them as opposites. Fika is the Swedish cultural institution of taking a deliberate break, usually with coffee or tea and something small to eat at a specific time of day. It is understood across Swedish workplaces and homes as a genuine pause, not a guilty distraction. What is less discussed outside Sweden is how fika time intersects with home maintenance habits. Many Swedish households use the transition into or out of a fika break as a natural prompt for a 30 to 60 second tidying action. The kettle is boiling, so the nearest counter gets wiped. The coffee is brewing, so the dishes from lunch go into the dishwasher. The afternoon break is ending, so whatever was left on the table goes back to its place before sitting down at the desk again. This is not cleaning in the traditional sense. It is the practice of attaching tiny maintenance actions to moments that already exist in the day's rhythm, so that no dedicated cleaning time is needed to achieve the same cumulative effect. The insight behind this habit is one of the most transferable ideas in Swedish home culture to homes anywhere in the world. Most people already have natural pause points in their day, while waiting for the kettle, while the coffee machine runs, while the microwave counts down, while the washing machine finishes its cycle. Attaching a 30-second tidying action to each of those existing moments accumulates into a home that stays significantly cleaner without a single scheduled cleaning session to account for it. 6. Ventilation as a daily practice. Fresh air as the simplest cleaning tool. Every morning in most Swedish homes, regardless of the temperature outside, windows are opened. Not for the entire day, but for a specific and deliberate period of 10 to 20 minutes, during which fresh outdoor air moves through the apartment and stale indoor air is replaced. This practice, called vädra in Swedish, which translates roughly as airing out, is considered as fundamental to home maintenance as sweeping or washing up. The reason it belongs on a list of cleaning habits rather than comfort habits is direct. Indoor air accumulates moisture from cooking, showering, breathing, and drying laundry. That moisture, if not removed through ventilation, settles on surfaces, collects in corners, and gradually contributes to the conditions that allow mold, mildew, and dust mite populations to grow. Regular ventilation removes that moisture before it settles, reducing the biological burden on every surface in the home. The same ventilation practice also removes cooking odors, pet dander, and airborne dust particles, all of which settle onto surfaces and require cleaning effort to remove once they land. By removing them while they are still airborne, regular ventilation reduces the amount of surface cleaning needed across the entire home. In Sweden, opening opposite windows to create cross-ventilation and allow the most complete air exchange possible is standard practice, particularly in bedrooms after sleeping and in kitchens after cooking. The habit costs nothing, requires no product, and achieves in 10 minutes what many air fresheners and cleaning products attempt to simulate but cannot fully replicate. 7. The laundry day system. One dedicated time, no accumulation, no chaos. Swedish apartment buildings traditionally provide a shared laundry room with washing machines, dryers, and drying racks that residents book in advance on a fixed schedule. This system, which sounds limiting to people accustomed to doing laundry whenever the mood strikes, has produced a deeply ingrained habit that translates directly into better home cleanliness. The practice of doing all laundry on a single designated day, rather than letting it accumulate in piles that migrate through the home. Homes where laundry is done on a schedule, rather than reactively when the pile becomes impossible to ignore, consistently show fewer clothes on chairs situations, fewer bathroom floor accumulations, and less general textile clutter throughout the living spaces. The mechanism is simple. When laundry has a designated day, dirty clothes go into a hamper rather than a chair, because the chair is not needed as a temporary holding station. They do not sit on the bathroom floor because the system has a place for them. Clean laundry gets put away on laundry day because the designated time creates the habit of completing the full cycle rather than stopping halfway. The broader principle, and this is what makes it transferable even to homes without a shared laundry room system, is that household tasks done on a schedule accumulate less mess in the intervals between them than tasks done reactively. A schedule removes the decision of when something will be handled, and it is the absence of that decision that allows items to pile up in the meantime. 8. The toy containment system. Everything returns to a designated home before bed. In Swedish homes with children, there is a consistent practice that most parents describe as simply how things work. Before bed, every toy, book, craft supply, and child's item that came out during the day goes back to its designated location. This is not framed as a punishment or a chore. It is framed as the natural conclusion of playing, in the same way that finishing eating is the natural conclusion of a meal. The system that makes this habit work rather than becoming a nightly battle is important. Each category of toy has a specific, clearly defined home that is genuinely accessible for the child. Soft toys have a basket or shelf. Lego has a flat box that slides under the bed. Art supplies have a dedicated box on a specific shelf. Books return to the bookshelf. The locations are consistent. The child knows them. And the habit of returning things becomes automatic rather than requiring active enforcement each evening. Swedish early childhood education, which strongly influences home culture, treats the concept of each object having a home as a foundational organizing skill rather than an adult responsibility. Children who grow up with this system applied consistently tend to maintain it into adulthood because it is not experienced as discipline. It is simply the way things are organized. The result in the home is immediate and visible, a living space that resets itself every evening without requiring an adult to do the resetting alone. 9. The entry tray system. Eliminating the category of lost items entirely. In Swedish homes, there is almost always a small tray, bowl, or a dedicated surface near the front door, sometimes built into the entryway bench, sometimes simply a ceramic dish on a narrow shelf that holds one specific category of items. The things you need to take with you every time you leave the house. Keys, cards, phone, transit pass, sunglasses. Nothing else lives in this spot. Its only purpose is to ensure that these items return to the same location every single time the owner comes home, and leave from the same location every time the owner goes out. The tray system eliminates the lost key situation at the most fundamental level. Items do not get lost because they do not have a habit of moving. They have a habit of returning. The Swedish design approach to this habit is that the tray or bowl is chosen deliberately. It is small enough that it cannot hold more than the daily essentials without overflowing, which prevents it from becoming a general dumping ground for anything that comes through the door. Some households use a simple IKEA key hook combined with a narrow shelf. Others use a Scandinavian-designed ceramic bowl. The specific object matters less than the specific location and the absolute consistency of use. Once the habit is established, the cognitive load of tracking daily essentials drops essentially to zero. And the absence of that daily low-level anxiety, where are my keys, where did I put my card, is a surprisingly significant contribution to how calm and manageable a home feels to live in. 10. The pre-bed 15 minutes. The habit that makes weekly cleaning almost unnecessary. The final Swedish habit is the one that ties all the others together, and it is perhaps the most powerful single practice on this entire list when applied consistently. In many Swedish households, the 15 minutes before going to bed are treated as a standing home maintenance window rather than dead time before sleep. During this window, the day's small accumulations are addressed. Dishes from the evening that did not make it into the dishwasher, a magazine left on the sofa, shoes that made it inside but not to the shoe rack, a jacket over a chair rather than on its hook, items left on the bathroom counter rather than returned to the cabinet. None of these tasks individually takes more than 30 seconds. Together, in 15 minutes, they return the home to a version of the state it started the day in. The result of this habit applied consistently night after night is that the home never reaches the state of accumulated disorder that makes a large cleaning session feel necessary. Because each day's small misplacements are addressed before they compound with the next day's, the level of visible disorder in the home has a ceiling. It never climbs beyond what 15 pre-bed minutes can resolve. The weekly clean, when it happens, addresses genuine cleaning tasks like mopping and bathroom scrubbing, rather than also having to address a week's worth of accumulated tidying on top of the actual cleaning. Swedish home culture's consistent emphasis on this pre-bed reset habit is one of the most direct explanations for why Swedish homes manage to look clean with less total time spent cleaning than the international average. The habit does not eliminate cleaning. It eliminates everything that makes cleaning feel like an impossible catch-up exercise. Put all 10 of these habits side by side, and the same principle repeats itself in different forms. The goal is never to clean harder. The goal is to prevent the conditions that make hard cleaning necessary. Shoes removed at the door mean floors stay cleaner longer. Immediate surface wipes mean scrubbing becomes rare. A daily squeegee means mold stays theoretical. An evening kitchen reset means mornings start calmly. Fika break tidying means disorder is addressed before it compounds. Daily ventilation means surfaces stay drier and cleaner. Scheduled laundry means textile clutter has no opportunity to accumulate. A toy return habit means living spaces reset themselves. An entry tray means daily essentials are never lost. And a pre-bed 15 minutes means a week's worth of small misplacements never survives to become a large problem. None of these habits require a bigger home, a cleaning service, or an unusual amount of discipline. They require only the decision to attach small actions to moments in the day that already exist. Start with one. Notice the difference. Then add another. Which of these 10 Swedish cleaning habits would make the biggest difference in your home right now? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the everyday systems that make Nordic homes so remarkably easy to live in, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We will see you in the next video.